Welcome to episode 41 of the Bulls REKAP Podcast. I'm Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times. You can obviously find me in the Chicago Sun-Times, the sports section, not the news, not the obituaries, hopefully, and definitely not arts. And you can also follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at @JCowleyHoops. Not always a fun follow, but do that on your own accord. September, State of the Union for the Bulls. We have some movement. The dog days are slowly drifting away, and there is some actual NBA news and some movement that is concerning to the Bulls. So let's start there. We're going to go through players, obviously a coach, talk about what I've heard, what needs to be said about each guy, and where those guys are right now, whether it's their summer development or their summer contract. So let's start there. Big news. Today is Thursday of the recording, and Cam Thomas, Brooklyn Nets, one of the, I think it's 4 or 5 of the big name restricted free agents. He said, bet on Cam, and he signed the $6 million qualifying offer. That's his price. So what does that say? What does that mean for Josh Giddey, who is another one of the restricted free agents, Bulls point guard, Josh Giddey? Jonathan Kuminga is another one. Quentin Grimes is another one. Those are the main players in this. And it's like we've been sitting at this card table waiting for somebody. Everyone's just been looking at their hand, and we've been waiting for somebody just to push the chips in and say, I'm all in on me. And I applaud Cam Thomas for saying, you know what? I understand that it's not like some conspiracy theory. It's not every team getting together to blackball these guys somehow into low, cheap contracts. It's just the financial state of the NBA right now. And the days of restricted free agency being some coveted thing that if I get to restricted free agency, I've done enough where I'm going to have all these bids. That's over. Whether the league has gotten together on that or it's just happened organically because of the CBA, it is over. So these 4 or 5 guys, these are the victims of this first wave of restricted free agency is dookie. And Cam Thomas finally said, I'm done with the staring contest. I'm pushing my chips on the table, betting on myself. $6 million was his qualifying offer. Josh Giddey's qualifying offer is a little bit more. It's $11 million. As this thing drags on, it feels more and more like if I was in Josh Giddey's place and I talked the bold game that I talked at the exit press conference where he said, he was asked, I think it was Sam Smith asked him, are you the player that we saw the first, 40-some games, 50-some games, or the guy we've seen the last 6 weeks of the season? And he said, I'm the guy that you saw the last 6 weeks of the season. And he did bring up the Zach LaVine trade, freed him and his teammates to search out shots more, be more aggressive because you didn't have Zach taking those, 12, 15 shots a game or whatever it was. So you just had more freedom to operate. And he operated. And you're talking about a 22-year-old that realistically, if he plays the way he was playing, is 18 to 20 a game, almost 10 rebounds, almost 10 assists. Bad defender, improving defender. So if I'm Josh Giddey and I'm his representation, if that's how good you feel about how those last 6 weeks ended in Billy Donovan's system, I'd be like, let's do it. Let's sign on the dotted line the qualifying offer for $11 million. We know the Bulls financially have at least 6 major contracts coming off the books for next year. And if they covet me and they really like me, I'm a $150 million man. If they don't, I go shopping. And so to me, it's you're giving away the security, but if you feel that good about your game and how you finish the season and the offensive system you are in, why not do it? And I think Cam Thomas looked around and said, Brooklyn, you drafted all these young guys. They're not going to be ready. I'm still the dog. I'm still the main guy. Obviously, I got to play more than I think he only played like 26 games because of injury. But when he played, he was consistently good. You couldn't get a deal for me done. You didn't trade me when I thought you were going to trade me. I'm going to sign your little $6 million qualifying offer, and I'm either going to make you pay or somebody else is paying. Asses are paying one way or the other. So I like that mentality. I think the one guy that probably shouldn't do that and should take the offer given is Grimes. He flashed because of injuries. When that team is fully healthy, he is not that guy. He's a piece. So if I was him, I would just take the security and want to stay on a really good team if everyone's healthy. Kuminga's interesting. He can go either way. Qualify an offer and be traded, sign and trade. That's really hard for them to pull off financially. But look, this is the new NBA, restricted free agency. Have fun. I think you're going to see more and more guys start saying, I'm going to gamble on myself, just because I just think the teams are getting together and saying, hey, no one jump at these guys. No one crossed that line. And I'm not saying they're doing that on purpose. I think it's more organic because of the CBA, especially this offseason where teams have been preparing to lock down money. Next year might be a whole different animal. I think there's a lot that free agent class is going to be large. I don't think a lot of the big names are going to get free. They'll sign them or sign and trade because that's the new NBA. But there's going to be a lot of young possible additions that teams could make, whether it's Cam Thomas or Kuminga or Grimes or Josh Giddey. So I'd like to see Josh Giddey say, you know what? I'm that guy. I said I was that guy. I'm betting $11 million I'm that guy. So we'll see how that plays out. But at least we have some movement. The other person that we need to talk about, Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan goes into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame this weekend. It is not a Bulls story. It is not a Bulls ceremony or award. There will be Bulls personnel there. Rick Pitino and Maurice Cheeks are presenting Billy. His good friend is Mo Cheeks. And obviously his Obi-Wan, his Yoda, his sensei, whatever you want to call him, Rick Pitino, talked Billy into getting off the New York Stock Exchange after he retired as a player quickly. And he was doing the money exchange thing on Wall Street. And Pitino's like, I got another way for you to make money. Come and coach. And Pitino kind of taught him the ropes. And then Billy went off and running. Obviously, what he did at Florida, unprecedented. That's why the arena is named after him. Is Billy Donovan a Hall of Fame coach? Absolutely. Has Billy Donovan showed to be a Hall of Fame coach in every stop except the Bulls? Absolutely. But I will say this. Here's what I like about it. And I have to defend Billy Donovan a lot. Billy Donovan, does he make players better? I think he does. I mean, he doesn't make them worse for the most part. He definitely doesn't make them worse. Stop with the Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen needed a change of scenery, wanted to be out, did not want to stay a Bull. That he was a hostage, not a volunteer. He had to go. So let's stop with that Billy somehow ruined Lauri Markkanen. When Billy took over, Lauri Markkanen already had a foot out the door, and the organization was looking for a place for him to go. So stop with that. Zach LaVine had some of his best basketball under Billy Donovan. DeMar DeRozan, he had a year in San Antonio that was fantastic under Pop, a Hall of Fame coach, and I think some of his best basketball, he would even say, was with the Bulls. So Alex Caruso was always a great defender, was a first-team All-NBA defender under Billy Donovan. Vooch, people can argue the Vooch thing. Vooch had to come and sacrifice. He wasn't going to get the touches he got in Orlando. So I don't think Vooch's game diminished. I think his role changed by coming to the Bulls. To me, Lonzo Ball was playing some of his better basketball under Billy Donovan before the injury. Even last year, Modest, it's a small sample size. Modest from first half to the second half when Billy brought him along, kind of treated him like a whipping boy, didn't just give him things because he was a first-round pick and then took the leash off of him when he was ready, and the little man went from crawling to walking. So I applaud of how he's done that. So I definitely think he is a top-of-the-line second-tier coach. Here's the thing now. He's now had 2 extensions. This is going to be year 6, which is a year longer than he was at OKC. It's now time. It's now time for you to say, this front office is inept. This front office does not know how to get me a star. I have to get blood out of a stone. I have to do what Tibbs kind of did and overachieve. And if that costs you, you go to the first round and then you're exposed. You're a 5 seed and you're exposed because you overachieved. I have no problem with that. There's a fine line in sports right now where people want to rip on an athlete like a LeBron James who lifted Boobie Gibson and bums like that to places they had no place being. And then because they didn't win the chip, LeBron is somehow the failure. Meanwhile, MJ would have never gotten that Cavs team with Boobie Gibson as your second piece to an NBA Finals. He wouldn't have had the patience. He wouldn't have had the understanding of how to lift teammates. That was not his game. Kobe would not have gotten a team like that to the NBA Finals. So we penalize LeBron James for 8 straight finals and only having X chips out of it because he lifted a team. He floated a team that didn't really belong there in some instances. Not all of them. Some of them he had the best team and either won or should have won. So I'd like to see Billy Donovan become that guy with this team. It's year 6. He's not going to get fired because I don't know the expectations from the front office. They seem to be stuck in this mindset of this is a slow build. We can take our time with it. No one's going to be penalized because of it. But it's time for Billy Donovan. I think he showed a little bit last year, changing the offense completely. There was some slippage defensively that I'd like to see fixed. That's on him. I think he will figure that out. I do think he is a top-of-the-line second-tier coach. He's maybe not be one of the 4 or 5 elite, that first tier, but he's right there. It's time for him to show it. So I expect the Hall of Famer to Hall of Fame coach. And I'm hoping this is the first year where you actually see it, and maybe the Billy Donovan critics, because first of all, who else are you going to get? Bulls fans are delusional thinking that this is an ideal place to go. It is not. It is a shit job. It's always been a shit job for coaches. This is the first front office that actually deems coaches valuable, at least this coach. So that's one change. But ownership doesn't. Jerry Reinsdorf has a deliberate pecking order, and it's always going to be him, the front office, the coaches. That is not going to change. It didn't change with Hawk Harrelson, firing Tony La Russa. It didn't change with Phil Jackson. It didn't change with Tibbs. It is always the front office. As inept and stupid as the front office may be, they will always have the say over the coach who may be a genius. And trust me, they've had 2 geniuses here as far as coaches, and they let them both either walk or fired them. So it's not a great spot to be as a coach. And this is as good as the Bulls can get. So hopefully Billy actually gets the fans off his back and shows that he can take a very mediocre product. I mean, really, who is his stars that he's had to coach? Don't tell me Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is an all-star, but not a star. DeMar DeRozan's the best player he had to coach, and DeMar DeRozan played some of his best basketball under Billy Donovan. Period. So let's go through some other names. Vooch was playing Euro basketball, had a great tournament. Looks in shape. Only positive things. I think he'll be coming back to Chicago very soon if he's not on his way. A lot of these guys start filtering in after Labor Day. So we are here. Trey Jones, everything seems to be healthy. He's balling again. That's all good news. Kevin Huerter, heard he's been in the gym. He's a gym rat doing his thing, whether he's going out to LA and playing out there. He's one of those dudes that just wears a pickup game. I'll find it. So hearing great things about him. Heard Kobe White's been in the gym all summer, working on deficiencies, which I love about Kobe White. Instead of saying, I'm a really good ball handler, but I want to be a superior ball handler, Kobe White's mentality is, I'm a really good ball handler. We'll keep that up, but I need to work on my footwork defensively. I need to work on my physicality defensively. Let's get in the lab and work on that. Heard we could check those boxes. Doesn't mean he's going to be elite defender, but I expect him to continue to move forward. Here's the one two of them Bulls fans should be excited about. Modest Buchelis. From what I've heard, every pickup game, every scrimmage that this dude's played this summer, he's been just a bitch to stop. This is all great news. He has just been a load to stop, whether it's been inter-squad stuff with his Bulls teammates or pickup games. Wherever he's been, he has been a load. He's added some muscle. We saw that in Summer League. I mean, he's not a bodybuilder. He's not Karl Malone, but you could tell he's added some muscle. He's playing behind that muscle, but just a confident guy. Personality is starting to come out. Leadership is starting to come out. These are all huge things you want from your guy when he takes that jump into year 2. So excited about Modest. buying heavy stock on Modest. The other guy, Isaac Okoro. Teammates love this dude already. Love him. He's going to be a very good defender. I don't know if he's going to, if his offensive game is ever going to be this, but I definitely think he's going to make Patrick Williams a better player because A, he's going to cut into his minutes and Patrick's not going to play, or B, he's going to motivate Patrick Williams to finally understand it's time to be an NBA player. So Isaac Okoro, new shoe deal. He's got his own brand. He shares it with J.C. Sheldon of the Mystics of the WNBA. Holo shoes. They did their whole tour early in the summer. So he's got his own shoe. The shoe people love him. He's been showing up, doing things with teammates, made the appearance in Summer League. We all saw that. But I heard he's just a dude, and people just instantly gravitate towards him. Very likable, wants to appease people, wants to win, wants to erase and it's not really a race. He wants to put the Cleveland thing behind him. And feels like Cleveland phased him out erroneously. So we will find that out. So excited to see what he brings. Heard he's a dog, great teammate. I don't think they've had that kind of glue guy since Alex Caruso was traded, that guy that everyone could be like, whoa, this dude could win us games just with his defense. Okoro, he's not Alex Caruso, but he could be the closest thing they have to it. So keep an eye on him. As camp gets, today's the 4th. We're about 25, 26 days away, people. So it is coming fast. So that's it. Summer State of the Union of the Bulls players. And again, the two people I'm most excited about, Modest and Okoro. We'll see. Less than 4 weeks away. Let's go to Cowley Island, the rant. I often criticize the NBA and Adam Silver, and now I'd like to applaud him. For at least the last 4 or 5 years, I did not understand the stupidity and the asinine thought process that went into the scheduling. It was so backwards. It was so game here, home game back, game on the road, home game back, fly down to Dallas for one game. But wait, shouldn't we stop at Houston? Nope, just come back home for another home game, dum-dum. So when you look at the schedule, and not just the Bulls, everybody's schedule, they seem to take more of a baseball mentality of you're going out on the road for 4 games, maybe 5 games, maybe 3, at least 2. Then you'll come home for 4 or 5. I think that, first of all, that's better for the health of the players because the back and forth is the grind. The back and forth, getting on the plane, coming back home, one game, don't even get sleep in your bed because they leave after the game. It's just too much. It cuts into practice times and it cuts into shoot arounds. And to me, it just makes the product just kind of ass. And so the fact that you can be on the road and now schedule your practice days and know that you are on the road and can have those practice days is huge. I don't think the Bulls practice enough. I don't think the NBA as a whole practices enough. And I'm not even talking about the vets. The way it works, a lot of people don't understand. The way it works on a lot of days, especially if you go a game on the road and then there's a practice and then there's another game on the road and then maybe you're off for 2 days on the road, they'll give the vets off. But the young dudes, they want running every day. They'll have a gym ready for the young guys. It's voluntary. If guys want to go over and get shots up, they can. If guys want to go over and scrimmage with the developmental guys, they can. There were too many days, and not last year, the last 4 or 5 years, ever since COVID, where they don't even have a gym access because they're tired and they're traveling that morning because there's 2 off days instead of the night before. This is huge as far as development, practice time, and getting guys proper rest. So I applaud the NBA for finally getting it right. It's about time. Thank you. And you know what? Selfishly, makes life a little easier on the kid. Going back to O'Hare and out of O'Hare and blah, 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 blah. This is a reporter's best friend. Maybe a bigger suitcase on the road, but I was a baseball writer for 12 years, so I get it. Let's go to the list. Those of you in the gaming world, in that sewage that I live in, NBA 2K 26 just came out this last week. So I look, everybody knows for the Sun Times, I do a Madden review. I'll probably do a 2K review. I did a college football review. I like the sports games. So I'm going to rank right now the top 5 sports games that yours truly is playing. We'll go from 5 to 1. In my opinion, you don't like it, too bad. Number 5, PGA Tour 2K25. Here's why I like that game. I'm a 5 a.m. wake-up guy. I usually play basketball most of those mornings, but sometimes I don't. Saturday, Sunday, everyone else is sleeping. The house is quiet. I want to go get a round of golfing. I go downstairs, PGA Tour, load it up, play a course, get some cool gear for my guy, build him up, get him on the circuit. Love it. Number 4, MLB The Show. Create a player. If you create a player, if you're doing it right, make sure he's a pitcher. You could control his growth and his development quicker than some position player, in my opinion. But that's the number 4 game. Number 3, Madden 26. Love it. I love the franchise mode. Steelers got Travis Hunter. Took a lot, but I did get him. He's playing both ways. The only thing, which in the Sun Times article, the only criticism I had, which they messed up last year, if you're a Travis Hunter guy like I am, you only get one side of his stats. Don't understand why they're doing that. I'm trying to get this dude Rookie of the Year and MVP, and the only thing showing are his defensive numbers. Last year on college football, the only numbers it showed were his offensive numbers. That's costing me Heisman's for my little video Travis Hunter guy. So hopefully that's fixed. We'll see. Number 2, NBA 2K26. If anybody out there, look, I did the Bulls because I'm a better front office person than anybody they currently have. But if anybody can figure out, I tried everything, how to get Cooper flagged from the Dallas Mavericks, please hit me up on Twitter, wherever. I've offered everything. It took a lot for me to get Travis Hunter from Jacksonville, but I got it done because I'm that kind of guy. NBA 2K, I've offered everything for Cooper flag. They're not budging. So maybe I just need to be the Lakers, huh, Nico? And number 1, the best, college football 26. If you and the boys aren't in a dynasty league and you have college football 26, what the hell are you doing? If you and the boys aren't trash talking and in recruiting wars for made up guys, what are you doing? Why even have the game? If you have the game, that's what you better be doing, and it's fantastic. We've had, over the years, we've had some, back in the day before they discontinued it, on that game back there, we had Jason Goff, friend of the show, Lawrence Holmes. We had Cody from the school, not Cody. Who was it? It was, what's his name? He's doing with the White Sox now. I don't remember his name. Kyle. He was it. We had some of my boys from Cleveland, a 10-man league. It was great. A lot of those guys don't play anymore. We tried it last year. We had some guys quit. There's some foul language, but that's part of it. So college football, 26, the best, number 1 in my system all the time. Play it at least once a day. Love it. That's it. So that's the list. If you like games, go out and get one. Try it. I think you'll enjoy it. 5 a.m. is a good time, I'm telling you. So until next week, I got next.